On November 21st, 2019, Tesla introduced their Cybertruck concept to the world. I am calling this a concept car because at this point, that is exactly what it is. Oh sure, it runs and drives, and you can even leave a $100 deposit for one, even though actual production is not scheduled to begin for another 2 years. Now I want to make something clear right now. I like Tesla. The Model S is my favorite of their offerings. I think it looks great, it's fast, and it really brought electric cars to the forefront, at least in the United States market, in a bigger way than anything else that came before. I also think the bioweapon defense mode is awesome, after it helped residents of Northern California to escape from wildfires in the latter half of 2018 with much cleaner air inside of their Teslas than outside. However, I see this Cybertruck as a bit of a pipe dream. Let's look at the specs per Tesla's website. The exterior is a nearly impenetrable exoskeleton made out of hard, 30 times cold-rolled stainless steel structural skin. According to Tesla, this helps eliminate dents, damage, and long-term corrosion with a smooth monochrome exoskeleton that puts the shell on the outside of the car and provides you and your passengers maximum protection. There's also supposedly bulletproof glass, which shattered during the car's world introduction. Tesla's website also claims that the Cybertruck has the ability to pull, quote, near infinite mass, unquote, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, and up to 14,000 pounds. Now, mass and weight are two different things, but I've done extensive research, and 14,000 pounds is a lot less than infinity. Okay, so a couple things. First of all, when and if the Cybertruck makes it into production, it will certainly look different from how the concept looks now. How different obviously remains to be seen, but the lights will almost certainly have to change to meet U.S. Department of Transportation standards, and this thing is probably not sellable at all in the European Union right now due to pedestrian collision safety standards. The wheels and tires will be different. And oh yeah, it's going to have rear view mirrors. Second of all, the pricing is a farce. The base model apparently will have an MSRP of $39,900 for a two-wheel drive truck with 250 miles of range and a, quote, 7,500 pound plus, unquote, towing capacity. If you want the full self-driving system, that will be an extra $7,000. I'll tell you right now, I do expect this thing to go on sale in some form, probably in 2.5 to 3 years from now, and the base MSRPs will be at least $10,000 higher across the board than what they are telling us they will be now. Third of all, they're taking deposits on this thing, and apparently they have taken like 250,000 deposits so far. The amount required, $100 US. Now, I've sold cars for a long time, and I've never ordered any car for a client for a deposit that low. A typical deposit is anywhere from $300 to $1,000, and I once made a guy give me a $10,000 deposit on a BMW M4 Coupe because he wanted Austin yellow over a secure orange leather interior. The amount in this case to make sure the client was serious. He was, and he bought the car. Now, if you're one of the people who has plonked down $100 to order one of these things, let me go off on a tangent for you right now. This tangent is called the Jaguar XJ220. The XJ220 was introduced at the British International Motor Show in Birmingham, England on October 18, 1988. It was displayed with a dual overhead cam V12 engine, four-wheel drive, four-wheel steering, scissor doors, and a claimed top speed of 220 miles per hour, hence the name. Jaguar eventually took about 1,400 deposits for orders for the XJ220, which is far fewer than Tesla have taken here, but each deposit Jaguar took was in the amount of 50,000 pounds sterling, in late 80s money. On January 1st, 1990, Jaguar announced the list price of the car would be 290,000 pounds. When the production XJ220 finally arrived in 1992, The V12, the scissor doors, the all-wheel drive, and the four-wheel steering were all gone. In their place was a far more conventional chassis and drivetrain with a twin-turbo V6. People with deposits howled and sued, and at the end of the day, only 282 XJ220s were built. In production trim, it could hit 212 miles per hour, and if you increase the rev limiter and replace the catalytic converters with straight pipes, it could get all the way to 217 miles an hour. And although that was 3 miles an hour slower than the claimed target, it was the fastest car in the world for about a year until the introduction of the McLaren F1. Oh yeah, and when it came out in 1992, the XJ220 had a list price of £470,000, 180 grand more than was originally announced. This is the worst case scenario for the Cybertruck. I don't think Tesla will mess up that badly, but it is possible. Keep that in mind before you Venmo Elon your $100. Then there was the test with the Cybertruck pulling the F-150 uphill in a tug of war. This is a stupid test for numerous reasons, but an electric truck with 3 motors producing maximum torque at 0 RPM tugging on anything in a tug of war is probably going to win. Here's the test I want to see. Take the tri-motor Cybertruck and take any brand new diesel pickup truck you want. Fully charge the Cybertruck and fill the ICE truck's tank with enough diesel to go 500 miles per its EPA rating, which is the supposed maximum range of the tri-motor. Then send them both up a flat highway towing identical 10,000-pound trailers and see which one actually gets further. My money is on the diesel because diesel is the best for doing actual truck work. But of course, a lot of people who actually buy pickups don't do actual pickup stuff with them, which infuriates me. But this brings me to my final point. Tesla fans love to deride other drivers for driving vehicles that are more wasteful than they really need. But isn't the Cybertruck going to be the EV equivalent of that? I'll bet 85% of people who have ordered a Cybertruck could do just fine with a Model S. But they want the truck because it looks cool and it's the hot new thing. So let's analyze this new angular EV BroDozer. Now for this section I'm relying on estimates for the tri-motor Cybertruck from evdatabase.org, so these numbers could be off. There are links in the description if you want to see their website for yourself. Now for the Tesla Model S performance, EV Database says the battery capacity is 100 kilowatts, and the EV Database real range lists the equivalent miles per gallon at 134 mpge, and this is using the UK Imperial system. The same website lists the Cybertruck as having a 200 kilowatt capacity battery, and their mpge rating for the car is 94, some 30% less than the Model S. And this comes with the additional environmental penalty of needing twice the natural resources to build the battery with double the capacity of the Model S. So there you go. If you drive a Cybertruck, you're hurting the environment, or at least hurting it more than if you're driving a Tesla Model S. At the end of the day, the Cybertruck is a cool concept car, and time will tell if it's actually a practical pickup. I think if Tesla was really focused on bringing EVs to the masses, they should focus on a small four-door hatchback with practicality and lower sale price taking design priority over acceleration and maximum range. If they made a cool-looking Subaru Crosstrek sized vehicle with 150 miles of range and a slightly raised ride height so people will want it more, and get the actual sale price down to like $30,000, I think that would help them electrify the country's roads more than a radical pickup truck that will end up being the better part of $100,000 and look like it's straight out of Blade Runner. But hey, that's just my opinion. Please let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Should Elon offer a smoke machine option for the Cybertruck so the bros driving them can do rolling coal on lesser EVs? Let me know, keep it civil, and thanks for watching.